Hello, welcome back. This is another video about using cryptography with our statistical software. Today, I will be creating unique passwords using hashing functions provided by OpenSSL library. Little theory, what is hashing is all about? Well, we already learned what is cryptography. We basically take our text input, we pass it through some algorithm, and we get encrypted information. And we can, if we're using public key cryptography, we can actually decrypt it back and read it again, right? But in case of hashing, we just have input which we using some cryptographic algorithm we can transform in a unique way and reproducible way and create this sort of a hash, sort of a unrecognizable long, short or longer string of some text. Okay, this was a very basic theory, but I'm sure you'll understand much more if you put hands-on. To do it, that make sure to get the code and open tutorial underscore hashing script. This, by the way, this code you can find on my GitHub account and on this repository Cryptography is Fun with R. Make sure to get it and check out my Udemy course as well, in which we're talking about cryptography with all possible level of details, step by step, and also some case studies about how to stop our password chaos. Okay, let me go back to this R script. To continue along, what we'll be doing, we will execute those lines of code. Before that, let me clean out something right here. Okay, I'm just clean out everything. And this code will load necessary libraries. Next, I would like to demonstrate you what is hashing by just executing some code and using those hashing functions. By the way, you can always type question mark MD5 or question mark hashing to get help, question mark hashing, and this will give you all functions provided by OpenSSL library. There are several of them, MD4, MD5, and so on. So there's different hashing functions where they're available. All of them receive as X argument some string or serialized row vector, some object, and the key. The key will make will add some uniqueness to this hash. So later, let me just show you what I mean. So if I execute this function hello world, or for example, I will type maybe some name John. Right. If I execute this one, and this will give me this sort of a hash. However, this is not cryptography secure because probably this is too simple. So there was already someone who already put process all possible dictionaries using all possible words, and they store results to the database, so it's possible to retrieve what it means. So just to demonstrate that, I'll go to Google and pass this information, and here we go. We can find reverse for this, and it's say it's John, right? However, if we want to make this password unique or this text unique, I can also do John. I will write the same name, John, and add some key. In this case, I'm just adding text, nothing, but it can be even something very serious, like even the file or anything, like maybe even our public key or private key, which we have. Okay, this text, if I try to Google this one, I will not be able to find it. So to Google that, there is nothing here about this text. So There are other different functions like SHA 512, which has the same purpose but just generate a much larger output. These things, you may ask why we need to use it. It is used to check identity of the digital object, such as, for example, file. We can check this object. For example, if I have this object here, I get this sort of a result. But if I will change anything to my file, for example, by adding just a simple space, and if I execute this code again, this will be different hash. So I can check identity of my file to check if nobody changed something in that. If I remove my space back again, just to demonstrate that this will be, I will come back to this identical information. Okay, now coming back to our problem, how to generate unique passwords. Right now, let it be our password, and we just can make something like this. So we can just add sha function, and here we go. We have this sort of a random string, right? This kind of could be complicated, right? Because you have a quite long text, and typically we need something smaller when it comes to the password, and also we don't want to, well, which text to use, and the switch keys to use. So I think what we can do, we can just maybe we can maybe get some date, for example, add to some specific text, and pass it to some function, and finally make it something like this. So we can have always different results. Okay. The problem with this code is that it will always give the same output. You see, there's the same output. So if we use some object, like for example position of the mouse, or like in this case date, we will be able to generate something unique as an output. Right now, we would obviously need to make some sort of extract some part of this, because we don't want our password too long. Right, websites maybe don't accept that. So in this case, we can do the same, but add function substring to get first three. We get after the first three to last 23, and we can write that to the file. Okay, so we just, if I execute this one and go to files, I have just generated this object right here. So if I, by the way, if you don't trust me, what I can do, I can also create something right over here, and this will be from, we said from third, so this will be this type of information from here, and it should be somewhere here inside, right? Somewhere here inside. Well, sorry, we cannot check that because the date has changed. Huh? But anyway, I hope you get the point. And last thing I want to do, I generate a function. This function is just allowing us to specify the salt, the beginning and the end of the password, and also the file name or path. If so, this function contains basically the same code, but with function type of meaning behind. We just replaced all those argument to repetitive argument to our arguments here. So if I execute this function here, if sorry, this code here, I have my generate password function, and here I can use this function. For example, I will add salt, and I type hello, and the next argument will be the begin will be, let's say, 1, and the end will be 10, and the file name will be my password. .txt. So if I execute this code right here, I have just here my unique password generated. Of course, I can add here some special characters like maybe at or something like this, or make a capital letter. But this kind of helped me to to generate kind of a unique passwords. So I hope this was interesting and useful. Make sure to check out my course about cryptography and visit my blog. I like this video and I hope to have this basically hope this is useful for you. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye bye.